Are you struggling with trusting God? Are you struggling with dieting or exercising? Or perhaps you're struggling with staying motivated and, short of cash from time to time? Well, self development is the best way to improve and make a better life for you and your family. And we're going to go over a few steps about that today. First, you have spiritual development. Now, spiritual development, the recommendation I would make for that is basically to download the Bible app on your phone if you don't have it already. And what this does, it allows you to stay focused by keeping the Bible on you at all times. Because a lot of times we're moving around, we're going to different places, and we just don't have time to make sure that we have the physical Bible in hand. So we can download the Bible app on our phone, and so that way we're able to read it and stay focused and stay connected with it whenever we have some time, whenever we make time. Okay, now the Bible app can be downloaded on the phone in a matter of seconds, Android, iPhone. It only takes a few seconds to download it. Now, a lot of times when you start reading the Bible, you just don't know where to read from. So I would definitely recommend start reading from the book of Genesis, or from the Old Testament, or in the New Testament, the book of Matthew. Now, the book of Genesis is going to explain about how God created the earth in 7 days or 6 days and rested on the seventh day. And it's going to go over about the whole creation, of man and about the tribes of Israel there, and how Israel was formed, and explain to you about Jesus, the genealogy of Jesus, where he came from, his, again, genealogy, his bloodline, and it's going to talk about how he worked with his disciples, how he created the 12 disciples there. So it's pretty interesting there. You got the 12 disciples, and then you have the 12 tribes of Israel. So 12 is that lucky number there. So nonetheless, that's a good starting point for you to be able to begin to work on your spiritual development there. Now, when you're doing that, what this is going to do is going to allow you to understand God better. You're going to understand how he works, who he works through, the way he blesses you, the way he disciplines you, the way that, we'll be able to just begin to establish some level of trust. Because the second step of this would be to pray and ask God to help build your faith and trust in him. Now, just like with anybody or anything else, if you're trying to learn who they are, if you're trying to trust this person, let's go and just say somebody that you're trying to date, right? Or somebody that you're just trying to become friends with, in order for you to trust this person, you're going to actually have to know this person. You know what I mean? Not many of us are just going to basically just trust somebody when we first meet them, to an extended degree, maybe to just a little bit, a little small degree there. But if we're really trying to trust somebody, we're going to have to figure out who this person is, and that's going to require us to spend some time with them. So the same thing applies to God, but he's a God, so it's definitely different. You're not going to be able to see him. So in a sense of getting to know him, you're going to get to know him through your word, through people, you know what I mean? The way he communicated with people, again, through the Bible. And so this is definitely one of the best ways that I would definitely recommend people to get to know God better. And again, you have to work on your faith and your trust, because if you don't trust God, you're not going to have faith that he's going to carry you out and do things for you. And if you don't have faith in him, it's going to be because you don't trust him. And so these things go hand in hand, and it requires persistency. You know what I mean? You have to be very persistent, and persistent just basically means you have to follow through when all things look like it's not working out. You know what I mean? And that's faith. You know what I mean? So you got to have persistence with your faith and your trust. And reading the Bible, downloading that Bible app on your phone, reading, just starting with the book of Genesis and the book of Matthew is definitely going to be a good starting point for you to start building that spiritual development that you're going to need in your life. Now, the second level of development there, I would say, is going to be physical development. Now, physical development will require you to actually, work on your physical body. You know what I mean? So this is basically when you begin to eat, properly, so we want to definitely work on eating a proper meal every day. So, what does that look like? Obviously, when you eat better, you feel better. Now, a lot of people, just really don't know what to eat. Now, when it comes to this, I like to keep it basic. You want to basically, create a meal plan. You don't have to be very detailed about this. It can be very basic, like protein, fruit, vegetable. Anytime you eat, make sure you eat protein, fruit, and vegetable. You know what I mean? So basically, what's that look like? For dinner, you basically can eat a meat. You know what I mean? So that would be beef or chicken or turkey. And then you would actually have some vegetables. You know what I mean? You can eat all the vegetables you want, any type of vegetable you want. That could basically be green beans, that could be asparagus, that could be corn, that could be peas, and then you have your fruit. You can go over to the pineapples, apples, oranges, bananas, mangoes. So these are just basically some examples of what it actually is entailed, and that would be an example of a dinner. You can apply that same method to lunch as well, and then breakfast. Just have your meat, have your fruit, have a vegetable. You know what I mean? And so that would basically allow you to have a balanced meal every time you eat. And again, you don't have to think about it. It's not like it's something that you have to create this whole meal plan and become so exhausted or come overwhelmed with what am I going to eat and how do I eat and what am I going to eat this time. Just keep it basic: protein, fruit, and a vegetable. You know what I mean? And so in addition to the physical development, we want to create a full body workout, right? So what does that entail? So I would definitely recommend maybe like a 3 to 4 day workout, on a full body exercise on your body there. So let's just say, if you want to just start with something basic, you can just say, okay, the first day, Monday, I'll do push-ups. Okay, I'll do 10 sets of 10. All right, 10 push-ups, 10 sets of 10. Okay, you'll basically have 100 push-ups you'll do. And then Tuesday you'll say, okay, I'm going to work on the core body. So I'm going to work on, sit-ups or crunches. Again, you can do 10 sets of 10. That's going to equal 100, crunches or 100 sit-ups. Okay. And then Wednesday you'll say, okay, I'm going to work on my legs. You know what I mean? So now you're going to do either 10 sets of 10 again, you know what I mean? Or, and this would be lunges or squats. Okay. And so let's just say, for instance, if 10 of 10 is too much for you, do 5 sets of 5, do 6 sets of 6, do 8 sets of 8, whatever is going to get you started, and you're going to be able to follow through the entire exercise with the 8 sets of 8 or 6 sets of 6, or whatever that magic number is. Will you be able to follow through with it? And during the first week, obviously, you just want to make it through the week. You know what I mean? Later on, second, third, fourth week, that's when you want to kind of add on to your numbers, so that way you're making sure that you don't hit a plateau and you'll be able to increase your performance, you know what I mean, throughout the day. Now, that's just a basic workout. Now, if you want to get very technical with it, you can begin to basically go online, perhaps go on YouTube, and type in, full body workouts for the week. And what that will do, it will basically have you to go in and see what other people are doing, and you'll be able to get more ideas and things like that, to where you'll be able to incorporate into your full body workout. But again, the whole idea is to have a full body workout. Do not work on the same body part every day, because then you're not gonna have a full body workout. If I did push-ups Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then I'm not going to have any lower body, workout there. I'm not, my legs are not going to be, equivalent to my upper body, vice versa. So again, you want to have your meal plan, then you want to have your full body workout there. So those things work together. I find that if you do both of those together, you'll get the maximum results. Now, some people say, well, I eat good, but I don't exercise, or I exercise, but I don't eat good. I'm not saying you're not going to get results. I'm just saying you're not going to get the maximum results, okay? So third, moving on, mental and emotional development. Now, this is huge right here, especially for us men. And, I say this because a lot of us as men, we don't pay attention to our mental and our emotional development here. Now, why is that? A lot of us, we macho, we don't want to be, we ain't no punk, and we ain't trying to, get all emotional feelings about this. We got to do what we got to do. We got to provide for our family. We have to, get things done, and we can't be sitting here trying to think about it and debate about it. We can't be procrastinating. We need to get it done. So I get that, and that's cool, but in the process of this, if you're trying to develop yourself, if you're trying to provide a better life for you and your family, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to work on your mental and your emotional development. You're going to have to work on that. You know what I mean? Because what I found out is that a lot of things that we go through is because of what we're thinking about with our mental emotion. And a lot of times, us as men, we just don't think. We just get up and get it done. And when it's done, we're over with. We get to, kind of chill back, relax, and all that. Now, when it comes to this, I would definitely recommend psychology, right? So here's the thing. Now you got psychology. Now let me just give you a definition of this, right? So psychology is the scientific study of mind and behavior. Its subject matter includes the behavior of humans and non-humans, both conscious and unconscious phenomena, and mental processes such as thoughts, feelings, and motives. What does that mean? So basically what that means is the psychology is the study of your mind. You have to basically work on your mind. And when you're working on your mind, you're trying to figure out the way your mind works, what pisses you off, what motivates you. So basically, when you're working on the psychology, it's basically tapping into that mental and that emotional development that we're talking about here. Now, I would definitely recommend reading, self-development books when it comes to this, because then you'll be able to understand how your mind works, first of all. And then second of all, when you do this, you'll be able to build leadership skills and team development skills. So that way you'll be able to operate as a leader and as a team member, which is very important. Very important. You want to be a leader in some situations, but in other situations you have to be, a team player to make sure that the job gets done. Okay. And so first of all, before I go to the next topic here, I'm going to say something that, I didn't believe in these, psychologists, or psychology books. I really didn't even know the difference between psychology and psychiatry. You know what I mean? But, as I began to do more research on this topic, psychology, means that you basically, it's a study, it's the scientific study of the mind and behavior and the patterns and things like that, but the psychiatry, that's basically when somebody is trying to give you medication, or they have the training to give you medication, for mental disorders and things of that nature. Now, going back to that, I didn't believe that I could read a book and it would explain to me why I think the way I think, why I have patterns, why I have all of these type of things going on. All right. And so I'm thinking to myself like, no, this isn't right. This is not possible. You know what I mean? And so as I began to think about it and read more and more books on the topic here, I was able to basically get a better understanding of this stuff, the way it really works. Now, let me give you an example. We have cars, right? So our cars, the cars are made for us to drive. So we get in that car and we drive it every day. Now my car, let's just say for instance, I have a Chevy Silverado, right? Or you have a Cadillac Escalade, or you have a Nissan, whatever. So you have a Mercedes-Benz, you have a whatever. All I'm saying is that you have a car, right? Okay, now your car is built from a certain manufacturer, right? But all cars, are basically have an engine. Now, if that car has an engine problem, you have to take it to a mechanic. I'm not talking about if you have a body problem. I'm talking about not a suspension problem. I'm talking about if you have an engine problem, you have to take it to a mechanic. Now, a mechanic is trained to diagnose your car problem. Now, if you're not aware of your car problem, because many of us not, it's not like we have, automotive technician training, just, sitting in the back here and we're able to just pull from it and figure out what's wrong with our car whenever we hear a certain sound. We don't know what it is. We just drive the car where we got to go and back home, right? So the auto mechanic, he's trained to basically figure out what the problem is with that car. The same way that a psychologist is basically trained to help us, our mind, basically to help us, understand why we do the things we do, why we don't do things we do. Is it because of something from our childhood? Is it because of something that we grew up with? Is it something in our background? We just don't know. And so basically at that stage of the game, what we're able to try to do is to try to figure out what we need to do in order to get it back straight. And so what they're able to do, they're able to help us out, because they are trained in this area. Now I get it. Some people may not be cool with that. They don't want to go see a psychiatrist. They don't want to basically go see someone. You got to sit there and talk to a therapist and things like that. I got it. You know what I mean? So basically, for this development study right here, I would recommend reading the book. Now, this book right here is from someone with a PhD, and his name is David Schwartz. And the name of the book is called The Magic of Thinking Big. The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. Now, this is a very good book. Now, I've read many books, but as I began to kind of read these books on these mental development, these self-development books, this was one of them that stood out the most in the beginning when I began to read these books here. And what this book did for me, it was basically be able to tell me understand how my mind works. You know what I mean? Certain things that I didn't realize that triggered my emotions, or my anger or frustration or happiness, or because there's certain things that you know about yourself. There's things that you don't know about yourself. There's other things that you don't know about yourself. And what this book did for me was it basically explained a lot of these things to where I was able to take approach and basically apply a different strategy that I never tried before. And I was able to basically excel in life and do some things that I've never have done before because of this, right? And the thing I love about this book as well, it keeps God in it too. It doesn't deteriorate. It doesn't move away from God being God. You know what I mean? Because some of these self-development books, they do that. And so those are the ones that I kind of stay away from. Nonetheless, last but not least here, we have the fourth step of the self-development here. And it's going to be the financial development, right? So, and just in case you guys were wondering, do you have to do this in order or not? I would recommend definitely the first one and the fourth one. The first one is basically the spiritual development. And then the fourth one here that we're about to cover now is the financial development. Now, the two, second and third, that's the emotion and the mental and the physical. Those can be interchanged, I believe, So, but the first one and the fourth one, financial development and spiritual development, don't get those backwards, because you have to get those. You have to make sure you're right, spiritually there before you decide to get your finances straight up. So going along with the financial development here, learn how to budget your money. I'm not finna tell you some kind of magic trick you got to do, some get rich scheme and all this type of stuff that's out here. And I'm not saying none of that stuff work. All I'm saying is that, when you go into the basic, if you're trying to basically, just like I mentioned in the first beginning of the video, if you're someone who just basically trying, it's a little bit short on cash from here and there, and you're just trying to figure out how can you improve on this area right here, start by a budget. Start by making a budget, but I get it. Some people don't know how to create a budget. No problem. I'm going to give you a basic step that you can do. First of all, you want to write down how much money. We want to do it on a monthly basis, right? You want to write down how much money you're actually earning every month, right? And then on that same page, right beside that, you just want to write down all the things all of your expenses. That's basically everything that you spend money on. That could range everything from, food to rent or mortgage, your car, insurance, anything that your cell phone bill, anything that you basically pay on a monthly basis that you have to continuously pay every month is what you want to include in your monthly budget, and so this right here will help you get a better picture of what's coming in, what you're earning, and what you're spending. And from there, you should be able to kind of make a better judgment. Now, you can get very technical with this. Now, there's all type of software that's out there. There's just apps and things like that you can download that can help you create a better budget, and then it'll help you out a lot. Now some people may say, well, I don't know how much money I'm spending every month. Now the best and easiest way I've known to do that is basically look at your monthly statements from your checking account that you have. Now, if you don't have a checking account, now I'm not sure what it is that you did that you can't have a checking account, or what it is you haven't done yet to get a checking account. But if you don't have a checking account by now, get your checking account. This is the best way you'll be able to track your finances, right? Through the statements and by you using your card. So, along with that, I would definitely recommend paying 10% of tithes. Now, 10% of tithe is basically a biblical command that basically God commands us to do. Now it goes all the way back. Again, I was talking about reading the book of Genesis. There, when starting off, it goes all the way back to the book of Genesis. Abraham, he basically had a priest there, and he paid the 10% tithes to, and that's usually where people kind of originated back to. You know what I mean? But throughout the Bibles, you'll see the command of God telling his people there to basically pay the tithes all throughout the Bible there, in the Old and the New Testament. So I would definitely say pay 10% or more to your tithes, the church. Now, I get it. You got some people who've been to church and they say, hey, man, I paid tithes, to this church, and this guy here, man, he robbed everybody. You know what I mean? So that means you're at the wrong church. Don't stop contributing your 10% to God. Just stop going to that church, you know what I mean? Or you find you better, church to go to. So don't stop doing what you're supposed to do for God. Stop doing what you're supposed to do, doing what that church is telling you to do otherwise, you know what I mean? So now, going back to that, now I would also, in addition to taking out that 10% of what you save there, put back for tithes, now I would actually say save an additional, after that 10%, save the 10% of that, right? Now, you save that 10% of that for the whole year. Now, this is basically going to allow you to do some things perhaps that you want to do. Now, for people who have a 401k at work, you'll be able to save that 10% that you want to put back if you want to save an additional, or if you basically want to invest into the stock market, or if you have a business idea, and this is where you can actually put that 10% and you'll be able to save that in addition to you tithing the 10%. Now, I would definitely recommend, people to do this right here. Now, I only say this because this is what I've been doing and this is what works for me. I only practice what I preach. I don't, tell you guys to do something that I'm not even doing myself. You know what I mean? So when it comes to that 10% there, it'll give you an idea of what you'll have at the end of the year. If you make 30,000, you have $3,000. If you make 50,000, you'll have $5,000. If you make 80,000, you have $8,000. You know what I mean? If you make 100,000, you have $10,000 at the end of the year. And I don't know about you, but all that sounds like pretty good lump sum of money at the end of the year that I'll be able to play with. You know what I mean? When it comes to, again, investing in stocking, or maybe you have, again, a business idea. But let's say you don't have a business idea. Say you working at the company, you're doing fine where you at, and you want to retire there. No problem. You can take that 10% and you can put that into a college fund, or you can basically use some of that to go on vacation. I know that sounds good. So now, in addition to all that, I would definitely say, with this money that you have here, you definitely want to donate to the homeless, right? Now, this could be very simple. This could be something like just basically giving, some, homeless people on the street there, maybe $10 or $20 or $50 or whatever you have, maybe $1, whatever you have to give them, right? Because a lot of those people, they're in an unfortunate position. They're not there by, because they're, by choice, but then you have some panhandlers. I'm not talking about them. I'm only talking about the people, that you give the money to, And also what I would do as well is I actually tip waiters and waitresses, whenever I take my family out to eat, because I find this to be a good gesture. And me being a businessman myself, working for myself, when people tip me, I definitely appreciate it. So I definitely want to show people that I appreciate them whenever they perform services for me as well. So just to recap, first, again, the best way to create a better life for you and your family is through self-development. The first step there was the spiritual development. The second step was the physical development. The third is the mental and emotional development. And the fourth step is the financial development. And here at CTC Lifestyle, we believe that serving God is a lifestyle and it's not a religion. We are here to help you if you're trying to strengthen or build your relationship with God. We believe that in doing this, it will help you understand who you are, fulfill your destiny, and carry out your purpose in life. Hey guys, before you leave, we want to thank you for coming to our channel and checking us out. If you enjoyed that video, please click on this link right here so you'll be able to watch the next video. Thanks a lot and have a blessed day.